You know what they say, if it's good, it must come twice. Maybe 3, 4, 5 times, man. Domelevo, it was so good, I said, I won't let you go. We have to do some part too. Because I like your views, I like your stance, and there are a few more things I like to pick from you. We always target politicians. They are the beginning and the end of all our wars. But hiding somewhere, we have the public service, we have the civil servants who are also in their own way running things, but from where your radar doesn't pick. Give me your views on this, man. How should I say corrupt is the public service? Or potentially corrupt, whatever the word should be?
In my view, they are equally corrupt.
Equally? Okay.
They are all corrupt. Because you see, the politician cannot take much from the public service without the public servant. Because the politician cannot take much from the public service without the public servant. Because the arrangement is said that you and you cannot go and just pick a check and sign and say you are going. So somebody has to generate a memo, somebody has to approve, somebody has to get documents attached to it before the money can be released. So it is usually a teamwork. And the interesting part of it is that the politician is the ultimate head of the ministry. But at times he's the least knowledgeable in the ministry, because those guys, the chief directors, the directors, etc., have been there for several years. They know the details. They know which button to press and the thing will fall, and which one not to press. So when you take one city, they will also take 2 cities. You take 3 cities, they'll take 4 cities, because they know how to play the game. So I think public servants have a lot of problems. Why do they have these problems? It's the same point that I keep making, that they know that there are going to be no consequences for misbehavior. Immediately the politician comes and starts taking, they know that, since he's also a thief like us,
he has opened the door.
Nothing is going to happen. Therefore, you take, I take. Like one of my friends say, big man takes, he take. Small man takes, he thieves. So it's only small people who steal.
Yeah, but the big man just takes it.
He takes it, and that is the end of the day. So many people don't know that when I say this, they think I'm just trying to guess about the public service. People don't know that I was an Accountant General's department for 18 years. I worked at the Ministry of Finance and the Accountant General's department for 18 years. I was responsible for implementing the payroll system that they are using today. I was one time also in charge of the GIFMIS, that is the IT platform for managing the financial management that they are using today. So some think I came as Auditor-General. No, it's not true. Those who know me, they know that I've been there. I have been through the thick of things. There are a lot of challenges with the public service. I believe that, one, there's too much duplication of public institutions. Even we were talking about corruption. In the past, we had only the Ghana police who were handling corruption and everything. Then the Constitution brought Commission for Human Rights and Administration Justice. And the Constitution gave them mandate for corruption investigation. Later on, we introduced serious fraud, now YOCO. Now we have YOCO. Later on, we brought OSP. We already have the Attorney General's Department. We have the Financial Intelligence. We have so many institutions that they themselves become a problem. So one of the things that I think government should do is to restructure the public service so that it will be fit for purpose. You see, when you have duplicated functions, we tend to fight each other. When I was in office as Auditor General, I was fighting some of them because immediately you give a notice that you are going to audit this man or this institution, one of them will run and take all the books and say they are investigating. So the head of the institution who has a friend, maybe in YOCO or OSP or whatever, will call the friend and say, this is what Auditor-General is going to do. They will come in and say they are investigating. They take the books away. to the extent that I have to threaten Yoko to say, look, I have a constitutional mandate to report to Parliament within 6 months. You don't. You don't have that mandate. You operate under an act. From my point of view, the Constitution is superior to your act. So you can't stop my constitutional functions by claiming you are doing investigation. So the audit must stop. But mind you, the Constitution is under Article 1875 provides that within 6 months, the audit report must reach Parliament. But before you start the audit, they tell you that they have collected the books, they are doing investigations.
So when they are doing investigations, you have to stop the audit.
Yes, because the books are not there. The records and the documents are not there. They take it to frustrate you. Before later on, it worked well. So we fight each other. When I started holding officers of the previous regime accountable, you remember, Yoko came at me and alleged that I have done procurement. And the vehicles, they can't find the vehicles. I'm sure they are assembled in my house. Vehicles, they flew away. All the vehicles are registered, including the one I was using as Auditor-General. They are registered GV. And I asked them, are you guys okay? You mean when I buy vehicles for audit service, I should park them at the headquarters? Because the audit is happening all over the country. We have regional offices and district offices. So just say, show me where the vehicles are. Yeah. But don't come and say you can't see the vehicles, so they are stolen. Are you okay? Are you normal? We can show you the list of the vehicles and where they are. And I think you also have regional offices. So they can go and check and see that the vehicles are there or thereabout. But they did this till I have to file a suit against Yoko. So it took the High Court to take Yoko out of my neck.
Wow.
Coincidentally, now I'm the chairman of Yoko.
You are not the chairman.
I'm not the chairman of Yoko. When I went there, when I was going there, I was laughing. I said, hey, this institution, I hope we change. And I think we have to change the modus operandi. I don't also believe that because you have an investigating powers or the mandate to fight crime, you should also use it to abuse people. So one of the things in the public service, again, which I condemn in no uncertain terms, is remanding people arbitrarily and giving bail terms that make it impossible for people to go back home. I think it doesn't make any sense. There are some of the offenses, they are misdemeanor, and so they are trivial offenses, which even the law provides usually that you should just find the person. So why would you
for the misdemeanors?
Yes, why would you like to keep such a person? And what is wrong with inviting somebody on some of these trivial charges and say, look, I'll give you a self-cognizance bill. You go. If I don't find you, I try you in absentia. Or you put your security in place. If you try to go, you catch him and say, look, he was running away when I gave you, so now lock him for me. So that is the public service for you. I think one of the things which government has not drawn its attention to very much is wasteful spending. You see, near to corruption in the public sector is wasteful expenditure. Expenditure which is not necessary because we've created institutions that we don't need. But that is not as painful, KSM, as just buying for the purpose of buying. You go to several ministries, stationery is there, generations yet unborn will come and meet it. You know, health sector, several hospitals were built and abandoned. I hope you're aware of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you saw some documentaries where vehicles were bought and just left in the bush. Would any normal person do that? So these are some of the things we must stop immediately. It doesn't make sense that we can use public funds to construct a hospital and decide that it's not my administration which initiated, so we will not use it.
Sit down there and rot.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of them is the big hole we have in the ministry called National Cathedral, the most expensive hole, I think, in human history.
Yeah.
We have it in Accra. What about that? What happens to it? What are we going to use the place for? And are we recovering the money? I'm aware that the investigations are on, they have given some job to our Auditor-General, etc. But like I said earlier on, there's speed. It seems so there's no sense of urgency.
The speed is slow.
Yes. I don't feel the urgency, to be honest with you. anybody in the government who has issue with me should take it with me. But I'm not feeling the speed. Not that you are not doing anything.
But
yes,
I don't
you are
feel
doing
it.
something.
Yeah.
The speed. If there's urgency, what do? We don't walk, we run. So we want to see that running. But now this has been done, this has been done, that has been done. I'm not saying compromise the process so that you lose in court. But the speed at which you are moving, we can increase it so that we will give confidence to people. So the corruption is not something I would say is limited to only politicians. Public servants are also part of it. Unfortunately, the mechanisms in place to check this, some of them are not working. Mind you, one of the biggest mechanisms to check abuse of public funds is the creation of the office of the Auditor-General. The Auditor-General is the only one who goes around to look into your records, identify wrongdoing, disagree with you, disallow it, and surcharge you. Have you heard any judge who goes around looking for criminals, come and prosecute them and sentence them before? But the Auditor-General has been given this wild mandate. And my successor, I don't know, I'm not feeling you, Johnson. I'm not seeing the surcharge certificates flying. You should be holding some big guns or the big shots, the big men accountable by now, so that there is fear and panic in the system that creates deterrence. Because you can't go after everybody, you can't get everything. There should be deterrence. So, Auditor-General, I plead with you. I'm pleading with you. I like you. You are my brother. Please up the game.
You're not feeling it.
I'm not feeling your game. I'm not feeling your game. You must let us feel the game. Again, there are some things. Assets and liabilities declaration, for instance, we have all talked about it, which is a big tool for fighting corruption. It still remains the same. Last week, I went to declare my assets because they appointed me as chairman of UCO. I decided to declare my assets, even though my reading of the law, I should not declare. But I said, I don't want to wait for argument to come. I'll declare. So I went and declared. When I finished declaring, I said, this is a complete waste of my time. So I'm declaring my assets to the Auditor-General by just filling a form and giving it to him. So that is my asset that he has seen. Is that how we declare things? I thought if I'm declaring the car to you, I show you the car. Is that not it? I said, this is a complete waste of our time. The legal framework I'm talking about, that also must have to change so that there can be verification. And then there should be consequences for non-disclosure so that people will comply and do the right thing. So that has not been done, and it is painful to me. Before leaving office, KSM, you'll be surprised to know that we had developed an electronic asset and liability declaration system.
Electronic
assets and liabilities declaration system, where you can go on your phone or you can go on your laptop in the comfort of your office or home and declare your assets. It was tested. We used the staff of audit service to test it. I brought a team from the World Bank to do quality assurance, and they gave us a clean certificate of health that your system is robust and good enough. It has been packed.
Why?
I have no idea. I don't know why my brother Johnson has yet to decide that we will continue with the paper, even though we have an automated system that we can use. So this is how public service wastes resources. And I must say that another institution which also disturbs me is Public Accounts Committee. They organize a TV show, bring ladies and gentlemen, and say, are you the one who didn't validate or who validated so and so, etc. At the end of the day, you ask yourself, and so what? At the end, nobody is held accountable. I thought from there, these people will be taken on by the Attorney General or whoever, or the police, investigated and said, because the bottom line is most of them is money that they have stolen. If you remember some of the cases, they say people validate their records so that they can get more money.
Habib Napare. Reason date of separation was 2022.
Yes.
This guy had died. Didn't you go to the funeral? and you validated this dead person for 26 months. And you are coming to tell Parliament to do what?
Mr. Chairman, maybe moving forward, we'll ask you to bring the validators along. So they speak to it. Maybe they saw the person's ghost or they saw the person somewhere. That's how come a deceased person will be validated for 26 good months. And then somebody who has worked for more than 3 months, 6 months, running every day to control an Accountant-General just to be validated.
He's stealing. So there should be deterrence in the system. It doesn't happen. These guys are even made popular by appearing on TV for free. And they will go to their village and say,
celebrities.
Did you see me? I was on TV. So we must get serious and clean the public service. Do you know why? I'm going to make this point again, which I've made in the past. That yes, private sector may be the engine of growth, but the fuel and the lubricants is the public sector.
I like that.
And if you have a dirty oil, your engine can be as new as something, it won't run properly. That is the problem. Because before you start this, your business, you need a public sector. Even to identify you as a Ghanaian, public sector, your passport, public sector, license to import, public sector. So if the public sector is dirty or not fit for purpose, the private sector can be as ready as what? It will not take off. So we need to clean our public sector.
It is the engine for growth. But what will fuel the engine is the public sector.
Exactly. Before the engine can run, it needs fuel. And the public sector is that one. So we need to clean our engine. That's why I also call on private sector that, look, we all owe a duty to hold public sector accountable to make sure that the oil is clean so that we can run. It's all of us our duty. You can't leave it to them. Otherwise, it's like the person standing in the bucket, we want him to lift himself. He can't lift himself. The problem is that guy sitting over there. You say he should reform himself. He's the problem in the first place. So we have to push him out and say, my friend, you are not fit here. Go somewhere else. So that is my view about the public sector.
We'll come to that. But now you are the head honcho of Yoko. You know, what is your analysis of what Yoko is? What do you think needs to be changed about Yoko? What will you bring to it that's going to change things?
What should change in Yoko are plenty. One, the legal framework. I don't think the legal framework is good enough. It has been here for some time. It was good at the time they started it, but today, like I said, for instance, the reversed bidding. If Yoko is investigating you and they come to find that you have a car parked in your house, it is in your name, but we think your salary per month is just 20,000. You spend about half. So let's assume that you're able to save 10,000 every month. How were you able to buy that car within 4 years? So the burden of proof should move to you. If the legal framework changes, it will make their work faster or easier to do. An example of it is in the Money Laundering Act. The Money Laundering Act says, I think Section 1, Subsection 3, provides that if you are being investigated for money laundering and they find assets or properties in your care, which is not commensurate with your income or gift or known sources, then you are guilty of money laundering. This should not be limited to only money laundering. All corruption-related cases, all economic crimes. Once we cannot establish that you once we can establish beyond doubt that this belongs to you, then now the onus should move to you to prove how you got it. But if we are not going to do that and we say, show that he killed him, just like in a murder case, where we can see the gun which was fired, somebody saw him firing and etc. Corruption, you are not going to get that. So that is one of the issues. 2, resource. I remember my friend or my brother Raymond Acha, the executive director, telling me their total budget for administrative expense about 300 million. It's just a peanut. It will not go anywhere. They have offices all over the country. They are going to share 300 million running around all these criminals. It is not going to help. Not that the 300 million has even been released. So I'm talking about just the budget. Budget is different from release. What they have been released to you is a different matter altogether. You go and find out and you realize nothing has been released yet. Okay? So financial constraint is a big challenge, not only for UCO, OSP, and others. They are all having this problem. That is why, if I have my way, I will have combined UCO and OSP. I think it's unnecessary duplication. I will have brought these two institutions together. Mind you, I've forgotten how much it cost us, but there's millions of Ghana cedis were used to establish the office of the UCO. OSP. OSP in Accra.
Yeah.
If they have to replicate that in the 16 regions, it's so much money. But you see, if you combine the two institutions, it means already OSP and UCO is everywhere in the country. All that you may need is one or two staff to join the UCO teams which are there already. Whether you want to call it UCO or call it OSP, it doesn't matter to us. The work must be done. And who does it should not matter to us. So if I were the president today, I would have sent a bill to Parliament to merge these two institutions. Immediately, it will have brought about several savings to us. So financing and how to manage these institutions, very important. The human resource is also a problem. I'm told by the acting executive director that the minimum number of staff that UCO require, we don't even have 50% of that.
Wow. The minimum
of the minimum, so we don't have 50% of that, which means they are operating far below capacity. So if we are serious to fight, and mind you, this is an institution which can bring back the money. If I were the Minister of Finance, I was going to call them and say, my brothers, look, there's so much stealing going on. For every CD I give you, bring back 2 or 3 CDs. Is it a promise? You say yes. Okay, then here you are with 10 million or 20 million. Bring 60 million. Let me see. And they'll bring it. They can chase and bring these monies, but they don't have the resources. They don't have vehicles. They don't have offices. Even their office, go to the office and see. You may have to pay them a visit with your cameras and see. The seized vehicles are there at the mercy of the weather. They don't have even where to park. If you are going there, where to enter. I thought it was staff vehicles. I said, hey, you guys are very rich.
Look at your cars.
You have so many cars. You know, these are seized cars. They show me Shatawale's car and etc. I say, these are cars for other people. They just occupy the space. So resource constraint is a major problem, and human resource is also one problem. One of the things we try to do is to change the modus operandi so that they operate within the laws. You see, one of the things I've never liked in my lifetime is you breaking the law to enforce the law. You don't respect the law yourself. Meanwhile, you say you want to enforce. Yes. So law enforcement agencies must operate within the law to enforce the law. They don't take it upon themselves that because I am a law enforcement agency, I can do anything at all. So those type of development, I think we should bring it so that UCO may become a friend of the people. People feel free that, look, I can go there and tell them what to do and to help our economy.
Quick question. This issue of not having enough money for all these various things, is a lack of money a legitimate reason? Is it, or should I say, a valid reason to give that UCO needs so much, but the government doesn't have this much?
It is a legitimate reason. Government doesn't have, but government has in the first place. The same government which doesn't have it. Okay? Look at the Auditor-General's report. You see the looting and the wastage over there. We don't prioritize our expenditure.
So in other words, if we had to prioritize,
yes,
and seal the holes, we have enough money.
Yes, because look at the Auditor-General's report. You look at the budget of any of the ministries and departments and see the key items there. travel, workshops, etc. They don't use the money to discharge the duties or the mandates of their place. I'm not saying training and workshops are not important, but my goodness, almost all those ministries and departments, they have enough offices to organize their workshops there instead of in hotels. But anytime you talk about workshop, we must go to
Cactus Creek. Bring all the workshops.
Cactus Creek and etc. I don't say they should deny you people, but at times it doesn't make sense to me. Where maybe we are all, the last time we attended a program, all of us are from Accra, and they send us beyond Akosombo. And I say, so why didn't you find one corner of Accra and keep us here? So I was telling them the next time, please, let's organize the workshop in Accra. And unfortunately, I think they heard me. I think this week or next week, there's one of the workshops on corruption. They said it will be in Accra. I said, all of us, with that exception, we're from Accra. And we all drive beyond Akosombo. So what is this?
You have to chill. You want to enjoy the chill.
Yes, you chill when you have.
What you mean? It's wastage.
Well, we don't chill when our hospitals don't have medicine. We don't chill when our schools don't have textbooks. We don't chill when we are running to potholes and we can even somersault and die.
They are chilling.
Yeah, so we must prioritize. So in the midst of plenty, we are hungry as a people. Yet it's Sikaso. And so come here. I'm not more born in
I am a boat Ghana. It is Sikaso. O may know here my. Nenam a memoir enquietino. A come there.
I think Guvano is right. He did that to us, but it has not changed. Thank you.
Whoa! All goes, and as you're saying, to the priorities. We don't set the. Do we even think about? One guy, I had a guest, Oliver Vomawa was here.
Yes.
And he was talking about, and he was talking, even if we could cut all the benefits that come under Article 71, the cash flow that goes in as benefits, can we touch that and say from now on, for whatever reason, we're getting into this?
Yeah, you see, when they talk about the Constitution, at times I laugh. Because people talk or criticize the Constitution without even interrogating the Constitution or reading the Constitution. They just assume and attribute the problem to the Constitution. One of them is Article 71. I think the provision in Article 71 is one of the finest that we can have. Yes, because the Constitution simply says that the salaries, the benefits, the allowances, etc. of the Chief Justice, the Speaker, etc., a whole lot of them, shall be determined by the President based upon recommendation of a committee of not more than 5. Okay? So that committee and the former presidents or presidents that we ever had are our problem. It's not the Constitution. Do you understand? The Constitution didn't say that pay ex gratia of 3 months or 1 month or a broom. It didn't say that. So,
but what does the Constitution say?
The Constitution just said they should determine the allowances, the benefits, and the retiring award. So, if that committee comes and say, look, we think nobody deserves a retirement benefit, and the president approves, that's all. So, it is not the making of the Constitution; it is the committees which successively, I think the committees try to please whoever appoint them. So they come and say, Your Excellency, you have to get this, you have to get that, you have to get that. But one of the things that we forget is that it is not only Article 71 office holders who are running or building this country. There are several other public servants. And even if you go beyond public service, the public funds is for the public. It is for all Ghanaians. The public funds is supposed to build infrastructure for you and I to enjoy equally. You should have good roads, you should have good hospitals, you should have good schools. So we cannot use about half of the money. In fact, if you check the wage bill, at times it's almost half of the total budget to take care of only 1 million or 1.5 million. And what about the 33 million Ghanaians? So it is not fair. And I think also the relativity in the public service must be checked, such that if you are a public servant, you are a teacher, you are a university lecturer, etc., with so many years experience, you should not see someone who you thought last year winning election, become an MP, and all of a sudden he has everything, and you are still where you are. I don't think it is fair. I hope you agree with me that some of them, even getting their first degree was a problem or a challenge, but they can talk and they have money, so they win election. And now when you see them, you are like, hey, me the mamobra. It's like they are on top.
Yeah.
No, we must introduce. So that I think must be addressed. We must ensure people are paid well, and also if you misbehave,
there are consequences.
Yes. The other side of it is when we pay you well, you must also work well. We can't afford to be paying people who get to office at 10 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, by 2 o'clock he is going. And people will tell me that their salary is not enough. And I would like to ask you, when you were in America, were their salaries enough? Were people not doing 2-3 jobs?
Yeah.
It's only in Ghana or Africa that people want to be a teacher, and that is all.
Yeah.
He closes at 2 o'clock and you want to sleep and get enough pay.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that from the 2 o'clock to about 10 p.m. that he is going to sleep, he could have done something else. So we have to change this mindset. I'm happy with the talking about 24-hour economy, but we must change, reset people.
Our minds.
Yes, to say that look, the fact that you are a civil servant, you go to work at 8 and close at 5, it's not enough. Do something else. Go into teaching, go into some farming, go into something else to supplement your lesson. And of course, once you are paid for 8 hours, you must work 8 hours. You can't come to office and be reading newspapers and say that you are a nurse, you are not being paid well. You are a doctor, you are not being paid well. When you come, you are on phone. You are not being attending to us. I find it so insulting. At times, you are in need of service, you go into public service, and the gentleman is on phone.
Yeah.
And he just do this. Hold on. And he's on phone, and you can hear the conversation. It has nothing to do with the work. Yeah. We must change and address all these things. Then you have enough money to run the institutions. And it should not be that because our party has won election, we must give employment to people just add. No, there must be vacancies. So that's why I've been telling government, don't be recruiting people into the ministries. Create industries. Do something new so that we can recruit people into those ones. But a position which 3 people have occupied all these years, because you have come, you're also adding 2 or 3. To do what? So we must change all these things. And I think it will help us.
Daniel Domelevo, man. I think in addition to being CEO of Yoko, we should also make you, Director-General for resetting. To educate Ghanaians what it takes to reset. It affects everything.
Of course.
Like this work thing, people will be using the company internet, watching Nigerian movies.
Yes. And you come back and say, I'm not being
paid well.
Who should pay you to watch Nigerian movies?
And to use the company internet.
When I was Auditor-General, I was hitting the office always around 7 o'clock. And at times 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'll go to people's office. I don't find them. So I leave a note that I came to look for you. And I put the time there and the date and sign. See me when you come. Sometimes they'll come 2 or 3 hours later. Okay. That's about 10, 11, thereabout. Say, my friend, why are you coming to work at this time? Say, the traffic is not a joke.
Traffic and rain.
And say, oh, okay. So there's traffic on your road. I look like I sleep here, right? Me, I live here. You mean I didn't come from my house?
You didn't come from, there was no traffic on your road.
I said, who cares about your traffic? But put that same Ghanaian who tells you, you say rain. No, rain is even better. They will say, Suomuna.
It's
just the clouds and fog, that's why we're late. That Ghanaian who will come late because of traffic, because the clouds are formed and etc., or the child is sick, throw him on the street of London. we will be there before the train.
Yes.
He will never be late.
Yes.
So that's what I'm talking about, that there must be consequences from his behavior. Everybody will change.
And on that note, I crown him the Director-General for the resetting agenda of Ghana. Your Excellency, please, if you are listening to this show, which you probably will, it's very, very important making the Director-General for resetting it. Because Ghana has one thing. There's so much to be changed. But anyway, Mr. Auditor-General, my boss, whether I'm older than you or not, you are still my boss. You're a man. Yeah. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you here. And please, the invitation will be coming. I've been trying to get him. He's always a very, very busy man. But please, I'm going to hope that very soon we'll be back here.
Thank you very much.
As we talk about the resetting agenda and everything that we need to know and more.
Okay.
Folks, until we come back your way with Unfiltered, this has been the most wanted man. Finally, he has come and he has pulled his guts. See you next week.